This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation.
Welcome to Reparation Station. This is a show all about what the freak we're doing right now to respond to these times. I'm your host, Marguerite Hemmings, and I'm here. I am very grateful to be here with Rasheed Z. Ajamu. Can I just say Rasheed is giving Germantown royalty. Matter of fact, Philly royalty.
Okay.
And I just want to just give a little round of applause for them being here. Thank you, Rasheed. Thank you, Rasheed.
Thank you, friend, for having me.
Oh, yeah. I want to say a little bit about how I met you.
Of course, please.
You know what I mean?
Take the girls with the journey.
You know what I mean? You know what I
Take the
mean?
girls with the journey.
A
Mm-hmm.
little context.
Exactly. Yellow Brick Road, Wicked 2 coming out soon.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, November.
Wait, I still need to see the first one.
Oh.
Don't hurt me.
Okay, come on.
Don't hurt me.
Let's get the girls together.
Oh, all right. But yeah, so I met you through People's Media Record.
Mm-hmm.
We both were a part of we were on different sides of the fellowship program that they had. You were an archivist,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a cohort little coordinator
Mm-hmm.
for the youth research program.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting familiar with your work with Germantown Info Hub. And basically your work as a journalist and reporter here in Philly. But then, little did I know, you were the same person that I had been following years prior to meeting you on Instagram.
Yes.
Freedom John. I started following you when I came to Philly in 2020. Well, I came to Philly in 2019, but then I think I started following you like a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think one of my intentions in being here in Philly was to tap in.
Mm-hmm.
Tap in.
And if you got here in 2019, then you followed me a year later, you got on the bandwagon as soon as it happened. 'Cause that's when it started in 2019. I mean, 2020.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because you're responding to the pandemic.
Exactly.
Because you're present. And you know how to respond to the times.
Clock it.
And that's why you're here. So basically, just to give you a sense of like the premise of this show or like what I've been talking to people about or why I've been talking to specific people, it's to get a sense of the word reparation, right? Because clearly that word is society, I guess it's hard for people to understand what reparation is. Like something's not clicking. So I'm trying to like sort of like pare that word down to a clear meaning based on what I see people doing in the community. People who know how to create spaces of repair. They know how to respond to needs that are coming up in the community, not only the community, but also in their own lives. And they can like reflect that in community. I call them responders, you know? And I consider you to be a responder.
I appreciate that. I love that, though.
And so, yeah, so I just wanted to, like, welcome you here. And, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about Freedom John and all that and all the, like, things that came from Freedom John.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, first I just wanted to be like, thank you for being here.
Thank you. You wanted to give me my big one. I want to give you your big one. Because I didn't know you were a performing arts girly when, like, I met you.
Yeah.
So then when, like, followed you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I, like, was like, I mean, quite literally, would see you again at PMR.
Yeah.
Like, a whole cohort thing.
A whole different
and then we'll
world.
go on Instagram, and then you're, like, doing your big one on stage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just interesting how you don't know who
Yeah.
somebody is until you actually, like,
Yeah.
get to this core layer and just see them outside the settings that you meet them in.
I know, that's right.
So I was like, oh. I mean, so you be doing your big one. You doing this?
Right. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you just also because, like, I feel like as a performing artist, it feels like it's hard to also consider myself, you know, an organizer.
Exactly.
You know, and like a part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people separate artists from the community, or you got to be like a social justice warrior.
Exactly.
You got to be out here like
Gotta be
talking a certain
robotic.
language.
You got to be robotic. Nobody's human anymore. Nobody is speaking real words. Everybody is trying to, like, look up somebody else's Twitter thread and regurgitate.
And that's why I love
they don't make sense.
You know what I mean? I'm like, who are y'all talking to? Are you talking to me? Like,
Exactly.
Who are y'all talking to?
They're talking to themselves, child. They're talking in an echo chamber.
That's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, how are y'all connecting in and tapping in? And that's what I like so much about your digital presence, is that you could tell that it had actual real life, real time experience behind it, real time community behind it. So.
And it's my personality. Like, people meet me and the biggest thing they say is like, oh, like, this is exactly how I envisioned you. And I'm like, oh, like, how did you? And they're like, you know, you meet people online, or like you see people online, should I say, and when you meet them in person, it's a completely different ball game. Now, that's twofold. Now, one thing is people really don't know about my business. So, like, all the jobs I have, I do them very well. So when people sometimes commission me, it's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to do as good of a job as you did. And I'm like, that's so interesting.
And you're like, why?
But that makes sense because, again, people pump fake. So when they get into the space and they have to do the work, they come up short.
They come up.
I'm not that girl.
You're like, I've never
I'm
been.
that girl. Okay. And we just got to name that.
We really do. Because it's a difference.
It is a difference.
So I'm like, where should we start? Well, maybe we can start with just, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, these past few weeks have been very rainy. I love the rain. One of my favorite things I used to do was listen to I Wish It Would Rain by the Temptations when I was growing up. And so that was very much my manifesto.
Hold up. How old are you?
I'm only 28. I'm turning 29 at the end of the month.
All right.
June 25th.
All right, so are you into astrology?
I am not necessarily, but please let me know what it is, what it's giving.
Okay, so technically, you said you're turning 29?
Yes.
Oh, and we found out that we're both Cancers.
Okay.
Right before we started the interview, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. So anyway, your birthday's coming up soon. And so you're turning 25, so technically you're a part of, like, your Saturn return.
Okay.
And that's a time when it's lessons on lessons and lessons. It's like the universe is just giving you lessons.
Oh, wow.
And teaching you, basically it's like teaching you about boundaries, your limitations, what people, what places, what things can be a part of your life and what can't be a part of your life. And some people who already sort of like had those boundaries, they have an okay Saturn return. But people who, like me, who didn't know a thing about boundaries, it's like you get knocked down.
That makes sense,
We
though.
fall down.
I think that makes sense, though, because I do think the biggest lesson I've been learning this year is saying no. But one thing that people do not realize about me is that I am actually very firm in my boundaries. So when I give an answer, that's what I mean. So a lot of people think they can, like, talk me out of something or talk me into something, and it's like they're very shook because my demeanor, again, is very welcoming. But then when it's, like, very firm, like, no, I said no. People are like, oh. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we're giving. No.
Period.
Like, period. Yeah, so that's really interesting because I've always had very firm boundaries. However, no, like saying no to opportunities, saying no to doing things, it was like feeling like letting people down. But now I'm realizing like I really have to take care of myself in different senses. And so saying no is very much like caring for myself, right? And it doesn't mean it will never get done. It just means right now it's not for me.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting that you named that because no is something I've been stepping into a lot.
Ooh, yay. I love that for you.
Yeah, shout out to Jim Carrey. He's a yes man, not me though.
Okay, so then speaking of this time period you're in, another question I have for you is, okay, so the first question I've been asking everybody that I interview is like, all right, so I'm going to get more into like, it's not astrology, this is more numerology stuff. So 2025 is what they call a 9-year. And when you add up the numbers that make up 2025, adds up to 9, and 9 is a number of completion. So what I'm thinking about is like, all right, so if we're at the end of a cycle, thinking about like, okay, 9 years ago, 2016, when this cycle started, and I'm like, what sort of...
I'm sorry, I'm thinking back to 2016 and I'm like, whoa, that's such an intense year. Such an intense year. Yeah.
So a cycle started in 2016 and cycles ended in 2016. and I'm asking people like, what kinds of lessons? What were you going through?
That's such a chew. You know why? Because
Dime.
2016 was a very interesting year for me. So I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother died in 2015. So right after I got out of high school, I ended my first year of college. So this was my second year of college,
Okay.
2016.
Wow.
And I had actually just integrated into my new, at the time, chosen family. So my sister, shout out to Erica, shout out to Rhonda, that's my chosen mama, clock it. I gotta also say Shiloh Sage since that's my goddaughter.
Yes.
But that was a really interesting year because for me, I had just left family, like blood family, and like cut ties with them and started anew with chosen family.
Oh, wow.
So that is very
Wow.
interesting, you naming that was a year of just like rebirth, renew, thinking about closing out, starting anew.
Yes.
And like just never knew that. And so again, you learn something every day. So that was that time for me.
Whoa. So huge transition. Huge
Yeah.
change. So then how did you meet your chosen family?
So me and Erica actually, we went to a high school program together over on Temple's campus. This is called the University Community Collaborative, and we both were in a program under that called Voices. What happened was around that, that was the same year that we both quit too. Clock it. So we ended up working at this space as well. She had worked there longer than I had. However, I had only came on for about a year as a instructor. So we taught kids pretty much things like media literacy, how to use a camera, you know what I'm saying? Things like identity, social justice, and stuff like that. It taught me a lot about the nonprofit system and how, you know, kids are numbers. Working with kids in the city are numbers. And even though you love them, the folks who are getting paid to have the program for them don't see them. And that was my biggest reason for walking away from that. And so
Wow.
it's so interesting too, friend, because when you talk about what I learned last week, my best friend, not my chosen sister, but my other best friend found my resignation letter from that same job. So this is so full circle. You saying all of this.
Circle.
And when I say I ate them girls up in that resignation letter,
You were like, no, I'm going to write what's on my mind.
I didn't even remember saying all of the things I said. But if that person is reading or seeing this, I hope you think about it every 2 to 3 business days. Like my friend Danielle Smith said.
I wish I would have sent a resignation like that to the nonprofit job that I quit
Yes.
right around the same time. Because a lot of people I'm talking to have a similar story around like just learning what the nonprofit world is really like. A nonprofit, academic world, just basically these spaces that sort of, I don't want to say act like, I don't want to say that, but they have mission statements that are supposedly about the community, supposedly about like, you know, what being welcoming, being like about connection or whatever it is.
Exactly.
But a lot of people I'm talking to like find out that it's not the case at all, and so there's like this rupture, and like deciding, oh, how do I want to do my work? How do I want to walk in this world? And then usually that means that there has to be some sort of like quitting, some sort of departure. So that's interesting. So you left, but you spoke your mind.
Yes.
Before you left.
Yeah.
So they knew why you left.
It was a lot. It was very much a lot. And I think that was also a year that I got into what you can call like the social justice like world.
Yes.
Like I had, people don't know, like I have quite literally organized marches. I organized a march down Broad Street for Philando Castile because that was also the year I believe he got killed, 2016.
Yes.
July.
Wow.
So, July 2016, I organized a march down Broad Street. So that was also like sort of like the beginning also of like just my journey and like even, you know, years later getting into Freedom Join and stuff like that. Because a lot of people see Freedom Join and they're like, oh, like, and don't actually realize, no, that I actually have real skill behind it. Like, I'm not just speaking, you know what I'm saying? I've actually experienced that. I've experienced, people don't know, I'm also, again, a hood girl. I still live in the hood, clock it. I'm not trying to leave the hood, clock it. So, like, my allegiance to my people runs very deep. So, yeah.
I just wanted to take a pause for that because see, this is why I connected with you, because the allegiance runs deep. I love that. You can tell when people love the people that they ride for. You can feel that it's not just like it's not just a hobby. Like this runs deep for me. I really resonate with that. Just I'm curious, who are those people? Like who do you
Black people, all shapes, sizes. I don't care if you're flawed. I mean, I don't care if you're flawed. The girls may have an ism or two, but at the end of the day, like, again, I'm not a robot. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And people are not...
Flaws and all.
Shout out to Beyonce. I mean, she said it best. She did her big one. Like, all black people, it does not matter. Like, you can be, quote unquote, the most cancelable. You can be the most, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, cherishable.
Yeah.
It's all the same to me. Because nobody got to where they are. I didn't get to where I was without somebody helping me, right? Or somebody, like, being patient with me. I mean, a lot of people had to be patient with me. And I mean, even to this day, people got to be patient with me, you know? So, yeah, all black people.
Yeah, patience. So your love is patient. Your love gives. I feel like it's like, I would love for us to give each other chances.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's how we grow. That's how we...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the only thing you say at the dinner table. Grace is something you got to... I mean, I would love for it to be something I only say at the dinner table. However, I end up extending it much more than I would love to in practice, not practice. You know? Yeah. But yeah, I end up talking a whole lot of rah-rah, like, oh my God, I hate them, I ain't gonna do that. And then I turn right around and extend the grace. Because that's what peoplehood is, you know?
That's what being in this world is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation.
So I know you not broke. And your gag, I just might be the one pushing your black ass. So don't be stupid. Do not smoke in this building. I know I don't gotta tell y'all that. There's a place out back and in front, no shade, where you can really get your life. You don't have to do it in here. And most importantly, for those who are not in ballroom, please respect the people who are on this floor. If you feel like throwing money and tipping a bitch, it's very raw and it's never not welcome. But do not stand in the middle, do not get too close. Y'all need to definitely back up, because let me tell you something, honey, God is cute, but it ain't that goddamn big.
Yes, everybody should be clapping. Keep the energy going, even if you get bored, clap. You can clap. Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Yes, my daughter. The function daughter. The function daughter. At the function daughter. At the function daughter. With the function daughter. At the function daughter. Function daughter. Hack daughter. Hack daughter. Hack daughter. Be your fat queen, lady, I said, 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 be your fat queen, be your fat Give me one, give me sorry with you, bitch. Who you point to? Because who stayed out of that? No.
This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation.
The face card never declines. So
Ever.
I'm trying to tell the girls.
You're like,
She
don't
never-
ever forget it.
She ain't never gave me no problems.
So, yeah. Freedom John being mostly a mutual aid page, right? I'm curious about, like, what are some of the lessons that you learned about holding that type of space for people? And yeah, I'm curious about that experience because I personally would love. There's a couple things. So I would love to encourage more people to engage in mutual aid on either side. Like it's like, okay, yeah, throw up a flyer, ask for help, and then also it's like when you see people asking for help, like think of it as like, all right, this is my cousin, this is my sister, this is my like uncle, whatever it is. Like, let me help out. But I know that's not the case. I feel like a lot of people just keep scrolling past.
Yeah.
Myself included. Like, where it's like, oh, there's so much going on and you just feel overwhelmed. I'm curious on, like, how you manage making mutual aid, like, important and the central thing. Like, it's like, no, my page is about this. If you come to my page, this is what we're giving.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest lesson I learned was honestly that I had to step away from it. And like a lot of people bring that up, like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to, like, you know, what you going to do with it? What you going to do with it? And I'm like, nothing, friend.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually the end of the road.
It's huge.
And people don't realize it was for a time and a place. If we ever get back to a time and a place, maybe, but we're just not in the space anymore. I feel like a lot of good came from it.
Yeah.
But what people didn't see was how tired I was. I mean, waking up first thing in the morning, hopping right on Instagram, seeing what calls to actions we got, seeing what needs people have, going to sleep to the same thing. Like not having, and I mean, this is why I had another job. So sometimes even neglecting the job that was paying me to do these things. And so what people don't realize is it's so much work. And the thing is, once you do it for one person, you got to do it for everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Because the idea of it is that there are no qualifications.
Yeah.
Now, for Freedom Joint, it was different because it was like very much like, no, Philadelphians. Black Philadelphians, highest priority. I would make some, some exceptions for some folks and things like that. But priority was Black people. Priority over that was, of course, like women and trans people.
Yes.
Shout out to Black men. They came in, all Black people. But, there was, but I think that was the thing, too, was creating hierarchies within mutual aid. Like, these people get this. Okay. Over these people.
Okay.
But how does that sound?
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
When you say it, like, I'm creating a hierarchy of giving back.
Yes.
And that was a lesson. And there's going to be somebody who probably listens to this who's going to try to make sense out of it. There's no sense in it, friends. Not to me, at least. You're not going to be able to convince me because I lived through it.
In practice, you're like, no, this doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Me telling a man who quite literally at the top of the morning, sent me something, but because I also saw this Black trans person, maybe 4 hours later, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put my energy into her, but I'm not gonna put my energy into him.
I know, right? And that's capacity. So it's like how, dang.
Like, it becomes nuanced. And this is the conversations that people don't have.
No.
That this work helps you understand the complexities and the nuances. I actually just had a conversation, again, with another mutual aid person from one of the community fridges. There was a person outside the community fridges who was giving, but this person would sit in their car, and they would essentially have a whole trunk full of food, but they would put it out in, like, cycles to make sure that people didn't get it all at once. Right? And to me, when I first hear it, it's like, well, why don't you just put it out? But when you think about how people 100% do hoard, and it's no shade, but the idea, yes, people need it, but also there's somebody else later who's going to need it as well. And so, again, it teaches you a nuance where, for me, that feels like policing at first sight. And that's kind of the thing is we go off of our first instinct. And so it's like, I'm writing this off as policing the community fridge, right? Well, when in reality, this person is actually thinking about the multitudes of people who are going to need this throughout the day.
And sustainability. How can I keep this going?
And so, again, that person who told me about this story was also like, they also thought it was a little icky and gross at first too. But then when talking to a person, when you actually break things down and you talk to a person to understand, it's like, oh, that's so simple. And why didn't I think of that? I jumped to what it is I wanted to jump to when honestly a commonsensical reason was right here. And so going back to the beginning of our conversation, I just learned a lot of people are robotic. Yeah. And they will just continue to spew out the same things over and over again in 100. My grandmama used to say this thing, which is you learn a word a day and use it in every way. These people opened the Communist Manifesto and baby, they are applying it. They are applying.
Word for word.
The girls are applying.
Reciting.
Reciting.
Memorization.
And they're not making space for the real human experience,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. We're forgetting that we're working with humans.
And understanding that at any given moment, somebody who you see as Mother Teresa is going to be flawed and have an issue. But that doesn't mean that you write them off.
Yeah.
Because, again, the greatest of people have flaws.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of flaws, friends. Because one thing about me is I'm going to cuss you out. The first time. And you are going to be like, this is a completely different person I met 15 minutes ago. And it's going to be nasty. And I might say things that, like, in 15 minutes, I'm going to regret when I come down of being mad. But that is the human experience, you know? So I just learned, like, the dishonesty factor of people. I've just learned that, like, a lot of people do not walk in truth. Because truth is sometimes hard, but truth is your experience. Like, naming exactly what it was that made you behave in a way.
Yeah.
People don't want to admit, like, the nuances to life. People want to present as like pristine, prissy, and perfect, but it's like that's not it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to be Saint Teresa. Everybody wants to be
a savior.
Everybody wants to be intentional.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to get the smooth voice and everything is intentional and care. But nobody wants to make space for rage. Nobody wants to make space for anger. Nobody wants to make space again for just quite literally being able to feel your emotions in the moment.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of that. Me being like, no, I don't actually feel that way. Like, I got to a space where I'm like, this isn't real. Like, this isn't real life, though, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I live on a block with real people every day. Like, the people online are not real. Like, I live on a block with real people.
That's right.
Every day. I see people get along. I myself walk across the street. I help this woman across the street downstairs. Like, she has, like, arthritis. I help her down her steps. At the same time, later in that day, I watch two people fighting outside. And I'm in the window watching the fight. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the real experience of life to me, because again, at that moment, I'm forgetting these is two people and they can both potentially hurt each other because I'm screaming world star. You know what I'm saying? And early that morning, I'm helping the woman across the street down the stairs. So she don't fall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just realized, like, online is just, that is really what solidified to me. Online is not a real place.
And
it's not a real place. And I had to leave that. I had to leave that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because where people, as you were getting more and more attention,
I was getting more and more requests.
Yeah.
More and more requests. And also just the levels of, like, people in quote-unquote corporate spaces and more professional spaces trying to, like, quote-unquote collab, but then, like, try to water down certain things. And I'm like, yeah, but no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Nah, we're not doing that.
So did you see that your mutual aid requests, when you posted them, they were getting met? Yeah,
they were getting met for a while. And again, when it came around, like, 2022, 2023, again, like, the white folks, they repaired, honey. They had already repaired their actions.
They were like, it's been 2-3 years. That's
they said, we gave you all 50 acres and a mule from 2020 to 2023, honey. We're good. We have redeemed ourselves.
Not a dime. No more money. No more nothing.
And that's why I have to tell people, it's like mutual aid.
The fury.
And I think that was my thing too. Like, mutual aid only extended. That is a big lesson. Mutual aid had only extended to money at a certain point for a lot of people.
Got you. Yeah.
When it's really like, no. Like, there are other things that you should think about when it comes to mutual aid. Just like how you're, again, you know, expanding / making clear the definition, an expansive definition of, like, reparation.
I'm so happy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very much the same thing with mutual aid because it's the same spirit.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So it's like, no, like, and I mean, we're going to get into it. Information is mutual aid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being able to barter service is mutual aid. Yeah. How can I, you know, you got to go to work, you got kids, I got kids. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll watch the babies during this time, you watch the babies during this time, I use the car at this time. All of those things are very much mutual aid, but everybody was focused on the money aspect, right? And again, money is a real thing that everybody needs, so I felt it. Yeah, but at the same time, it still extends far beyond that, and people have not gotten to that. I still think that a lot of people haven't gotten to that point.
I totally hear you. That's really deep, because my whole thing with my annoyance with how conversations around reparations is being, like, handled, it's like we're focusing on money And the thing is that the people in this country that have the most money are white people. And there are the exact people who are mostly ignoring that any repair even needs to happen. And the ones that do sort of like feel like repair needs to happen either like come in waves where it's like, okay, I'll focus on it for this week or something. And like it becomes this sort of like publicity stunt almost. Or it's like, you know, there are people that are like on the ground too and like really riding with you, which is just a small percentage. If it were a bigger percentage, we'd already been had reparations.
Exactly.
So it's just like when we really just focus on the material and the money, we're caught in this loop of charity in a way where our livelihood depends on the whims of the people who oppressed us. And I'm like, nigga, nah. Like, I'm sorry. So I love that you're talking about mutual aid in a way where it's like, what are the things that go beyond money, which is hoarded by the people who are hoarding.
Exactly.
So I'm like, of course they're not going to want to actually give it up in a sustainable way. It's like, it's only going to be 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because 2020 was the year when it was like, all right, DEI is cute. Diversity, equity, inclusion is like face front. It was like
they big one, child.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, could it get any more basic?
It was they big one real bad.
Black Lives Matter finally became something that was like in the mouths of like the suburban moms and whatever, whoever the fuck. And like, how long did that last? Like
quite literally 2-3 years.
Maximum.
I mean, you still see the remnants on their stoops with their little lawn signs. But
that they forgot to take
that's
down.
That's the Kamala 2024 sign, child. Or 2025.
And it's just sad. It's sad. So then, where do you feel like you are now with it? Because we're in 2025, end of a cycle. Freedom John happened, and that's the thing that I like with the responders I'm talking about.
Say that. It happened.
Like, listen.
Which means it's over, baby.
Listen.
Y'all can stop asking me. It's over. No shade. It's just over. It happened. Thank you for naming that.
Exactly. It happened, and it was amazing for the time that it was needed. But that's the thing about responders is that you respond to what's needed.
Exactly.
And then you also respond to yourself.
Exactly.
Okay? And when you're at a point where it's like, I can't hold this anymore, I'm going to keep on moving too. So it happened brilliantly and successfully. So now that we're in 2025, what are some of the ways that are you transitioning to anything? Is something budding? Is something growing? Like, are you still thinking about mutual aid, but in different ways? And like,
I am just thinking about I'm thinking about place a lot. Ooh. I love my neighborhood. I don't think that I've ever realized I love my neighborhood. Shout out to Germantown. Born and raised in Germantown.
Let's go.
I don't think that I've realized I've loved my neighborhood as much as I have this year specifically and last year. Even working for the Germantown Info Hub since 2021, I don't think I realized I love my neighborhood the way I love it now.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I think that I don't realize I love it as much as I love it now because I feel the grief of change every single day. Being a reporter in my neighborhood, people don't realize being born and raised from 96 up to now, because I'm still being raised every day, honey, by the streets. Okay. I don't think that people realize I see the changes and I spot them, and it brings a heaviness in my spirit every day. But it also still brings a certain level of joy because, again, grief is an experience, right? So I think in 2025... I'm focusing a lot in on place because I realize that you don't have to go far to like get the gratification out of life. Like a lot of people will tell you got to go this place, you got to go that place, you got to go get these things from that place to bring it back to this place. And it's like, no, you actually have the internet at the palm of your hands. That's number one. But number two, the people around you are resources. The people around you are information. The people around you are containers for stories, values, mutual aid. Like, the people around you should be the people around you. That should be your community. That should be the first place that you learn community at.
You shouldn't have to leave
to find that.
Community.
Exactly, right? And so I think a lot of people have not experienced that. And I had not experienced it at my young age, but now at a still young age, let me be clear, at a still young age of 28, right? Yeah. Like I still and finding community, building community, and understanding what it means to like be able to center place.
This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation.
For me to join something like the Germantown Info Hub a few years ago, and it only have like 1,000 followers, a little under 1,000 followers when I got there, right? Now that thing is almost at 5,000 followers. A few years later, right?
Yeah.
It's showing you how crucial a place can be.
Yes.
Right? And how connected people can be to a place, because our folks are not just readers and not just from Germantown, but they're people, not people who live in Germantown, but they're people from Germantown, meaning that they're around. They're people who know about Germantown, meaning that they like probably have never even been to Germantown, right? Yeah, like it just teaches me so much, right? Like that's how I got into the PMR work, because I realized like, oh, I'm doing journalism, and journalism is actually also archival work inherently. I have all of these unread, unseen, unwitnessed interviews, photos, videos.
Wow.
And in my head, nobody was ever going to see this.
Yeah.
Fast forward, of course, to PMR last year, 2024. It's like, oh, this is like place-based.
Yeah.
I am collecting things that nobody else is collecting. I have amassed over thousands of things that, like, if I died today, nobody would ever see. And there's a lot of history in here.
Yeah.
And it is history that is going to matter to people on the ground, the people who are not like elected officials. These are going to be the people, again, who carry that grassroots spirit for like generations to come, right? Like, this is useful to somebody.
Oh my goodness.
It's useful for somebody to see a town hall that happened like 20 years ago.
Thank you for saying this.
Right?
Thank you
It's
for saying
useful
this.
for somebody to see an art show like Germantown Art and Sound. I'm always shout out Germantown Art and Sound. Shout out to Vanessa Chandler. Shout out to Julian Moore Griffin. And shout out to Courtney Childs.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
It's important for people to see Germantown Art and Sound and see a quarterly art show that like almost resembles almost like a juke joint. Like the feel of a juke joint, or like a speakeasy.
Yeah.
Where like black people just get to be somewhere and like be their authentic selves and not have to worry about like violence, not have to worry about like people intruding, right? And we ain't got to worry about the bloodsuckers and sinners. Right? We don't get to feel like safe, but it's important for people to be able to see like, no, in 2025, there were black people gathering and feeling safe in a space.
Yeah.
Right? It's important to be able to just see models of things in the future and understand that you don't got to invent. That's another thing. It's like realizing you ain't got to reinvent the wheel. It's actually important to not reinvent the wheel, but rather take something and adapt it to your needs, right? So there's just so many things that my work teaches me, and there's so many like histories my work teaches me that just like have made me so much more involved and invested. And I tell people all the time, y'all can say what y'all want. People have literally said to me, you know, hopefully next time I'm talking to you, you're a reporter at the New York Times, and I tell them, pump your brakes. Germantown Info Hub is the New York Times for Germantown. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the premier newsroom for Germantown. Germantown Info Hub is the Inquirer for Germantown.
I'm sad.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for anything else. This is it. And the more people realize, the more you prop things up in your own community, the more they become valuable. And that's why it's so easy for people outside of neighborhoods to come into it and just take it over and make it something completely different. Because we have been taught also to not value our things, right? Like, that's deeply embedded in us. I was going to say, child, please. A real chatter. I'm trying to tell the girls, what I tell you, some girls get on the mic and they like, you know, they present as interesting and they present as chatters. I'm a real chatter, okay?
No, and I'm, like, I'm feeling goosebumps.
Yeah, you know, but it's just real, and it just, like, it's hard sometimes to put into words. It really is to put into words how much I love Germantown and how much I love. It makes me realize place. What they say? What is it called? Place is the space, or space is the place.
Yeah.
Sunrise, Germantown. I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness, Germantown. So you know Desiree Thompson.
Of course, Philly Herb Hub. Fuck it.
You know Desiree Thompson. It was because of her. I feel like that's why I'm even doing this right now, because I was a part of her Now Memories gathering. It was like herbal. It was like basically like learning herbal medicine together with like, our cohort was like basically all black queers, and we were like mind blown, like just gathering with each other, and she was like rooted in Germantown. And she's like, no, this is the place. Germantown is the place where the revolution would happen.
Yes.
Like, if it's anywhere, it's going to be Germantown because of also the legacy
Yes.
that's being carried on the back. Like, and I'm just like, yo, thank you for bringing up Sun Ra.
Yes, but that's what I mean.
You know
like
what I
how
mean?
you bringing
Like,
up Desiree.
yeah.
It's like that's what I mean when it's like mutual aid.
Yeah.
Teaching people about herbs, teaching people about, again, like apothecary, right?
Yes.
How you can heal yourself and the people around you. What it is you have near you, like
Yes.
the land, connecting people back to land, right?
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like, people don't think these things reside in the places they're at. And it's like, no, they do. You just got to find
Right
them.
here, yes.
And I'd say this all the time. People have lied to you and told you that community will find you. It will not. You got to go find community.
Ooh.
You have to go find it, right? Because people think, like, it's the same thing again. You back in college, me and you back in college, right? We in a classroom full of white folk. Mm-hmm. The one white folk say something crazy, me and you lock eyes with each other. Right? That's step one. People think that's community. No, baby, that's not. That's step one. Now we got to get outside the classroom and talk about how crazy that shit was.
Right.
Like, did they say that, girl? Like, no, they said that shit. Like, okay, it wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then it's like, no, that's step two.
Right.
Now we got to link up. We got to go have lunch together. You know what I'm saying? And then it has to keep going and going and going. You have to grow and, like, manifest. That's another word. Manifestation got you holes. Twisted in the head. No shade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just one step. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I'm not a religious person, but that's the same thing with prayer. Prayer is nothing without praxis.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I respect religion. So God is only going to give you your blessings if you work for them.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing for community.
Absolutely.
Because community is a blessing. Clock it.
Is it prayer without works is dead?
Exactly.
Is that the
something like that?
Where it's like, basically walk it like you talk it.
Yeah, Migos.
You know what I mean? We could go to multiple types of scriptures in here.
I'm just saying. And it's all the same thing. How you receive the message is how you receive it. But they all saying the same thing.
It's
Migos
like,
in the Bible.
I love that I feel like you're learning a lot of lessons about value.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like how to value what is around you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That to me is the gospel. But okay, so can I ask you one more question?
Yes. Ask me as many questions as you need, friend. Please. If another one, I'm a person. I'll be like, this is my last question, and then I ask 5 more. So if 5 more come, just know I'm here for it.
I'm so glad you're like that because people hate when I do that.
It's
I'm
all
like,
good.
I'm like, sorry. Okay, so we're in 2025. I want us to travel 9 years into the future. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the next cycle. So 2025, we're beginning a cycle. 9 years from now will be what?
2034.
2034.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if we travel to 2034 and look back at ourselves right now, is there anything you would suggest that we focus on, that we focus on to get through these times?
Focus on documenting the things going on around you.
That's what it was. Yeah.
One thing that I really, really have learned, and I get deep grief about, right, is my grandmother was really big in, like, family history. Not necessarily family history, but, like, she was a person who had a lot of photos.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was younger, we were homeless. What happened was my aunt was supposed to be paying storage. Please don't ask me what that woman was doing, child. But she was supposed to be, she wasn't paying the storage, and all my grandmother's photos got lost. And I mean, my grandmother had bags and bags and bags of photos.
That was devastating.
And I remember my grandmother crying. Like, even thinking about it now, I'm getting emotional because it's like, I understand now what that was. Mm-hmm. Because now I don't have family. I don't talk to my family. The only family I talk to is my siblings and my dad.
Right.
And my dad don't know my family history like that for real. Right. But I'm just so disconnected from where I come from. And who I am, and I don't believe in genealogy tests, no shade.
Yeah.
I'm black, and I don't need nobody to tell me that. Shout out to the roots, but yeah, babe, leave that for Alex Haley. I'm good, you know. I just wish that I knew more about my family and where I came from.
I hear hear that.
And like know the roots of like even some of those passed down traits that we don't know belong to somebody else. I wish I knew who else I look like. You know what I'm saying? Besides just my immediate family, right?
The photos.
But besides that, I just wish that people would lean more into actually documenting their experience. Like when they're somewhere, and when I say this, I mean the complete actual opposite actually of going somewhere and being on Instagram taking stories every 5 minutes. First of all, put your phone away and enjoy your experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your memory is going to work with you longer than that actual file is. How often do we actually break a phone or we like something in tech like goes wrong, right?
You're talking right now.
Maybe get a camera, take some photos, or even if you do it from your phone, take some photos, maybe take a video or two, and then upload that on a hard drive.
Yeah.
Attach like a note to it about like what was going on that day or something like that, right?
Love that. Your memory.
Yeah.
Memory.
Start to actually create records and create copies of those.
Yes.
Yes. Because what people don't realize is like it feels like we're unimportant. But our stories connect to so many other people's, and like our story can actually be the missing puzzle piece for somebody else's larger puzzle, right? And so the more that you actually start to document your experience, the more also you're able to help future generations.
Yeah.
The easier you're able to connect past to present.
Yeah.
Strategize, and also just become whole with yourself.
Yeah.
The more I go out I do these things called strolls where I literally just walk around Germantown and just take photos of stuff. And then as soon as I get home, I just put all that on a flash drive and I mark it up, right?
That's right.
And it's just been so gratifying. Like, it's been a labor of love. And again, like, also just take time to sit and think about, go to a place that you haven't been to in years. And go to it, look in front of it, and see what comes back to you.
Yeah.
I went to not one, but both of my childhood homes. One of them, the one that I actually was born and raised in, that was actually a pretty good feeling. I felt like, there were some bad things that happened in there, of course. But my second one, where I associate a lot of that with my trauma and tragedy, there's so many things I had tucked away in this brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't realize how much your brain and your body actually protects you.
Yep.
Right? And so I quite literally, last month, had to live through, like, every day after like visiting that house, like, wow, like I tucked this shit away. I did not remember this. Crying like day by day, like it comes to you. You know what I'm saying?
Just comes in place.
Yeah. So it's like practice more, get more into memory. Just in general, more into memory, and I think just also just cherishing who you got around you.
Cherish.
Like, I just come across so many people who don't see the people around them as like valuable, and again, always looking for something else.
Ooh,
and it's
that
just
ripples
like
out into everything.
And then when that person passes away or something happens to that person, it's like you realize how valuable those people are.
Yeah.
So it's like that sounds so simple, but it's so real. It's so real. I mean, like, there are people who I've interviewed at the top of the year who are no longer here.
Yes.
And it's like, that's crazy. I just walked past them last week and I said hi to them in the corner store.
Yeah.
And they're like, not here anymore. And so people just don't know how crazy it is. I mean, this sounds crazy. I mean, this is like crass a little bit, right? This is a little dark. But it's like, Marguerite, you and I could be having this conversation today or tomorrow, and I could be gone tomorrow. I could be gone tonight.
Yeah, same.
You know what I'm saying? And people just don't get that. And so
get it for real.
Yeah,
for real.
they don't get it, and they don't realize how crucial that shit is.
Yeah.
And so you just don't want to live your life with regrets. If it don't feel right, don't do it. If it feels amazing, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would say. Document, get into memory.
Yes.
And love the people around you. Love the things around you.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my goodness.
In 9 years from now, we're gonna be doing a follow-up interview.
Yeah, because I'm like,
we're gonna do a follow-up interview.
Because I really do think that we're on a verge culturally where long form is going to come back, where it's not going to be these little short snippets of things anymore, not just going to be like, oh, quick little selfie, not to pretend. We're going to catch what's real.
Yes.
And like archival is going to resemble more like maybe like what it was looking like in the 80s and 70s, where it's like, no, I'm going to show you the whole 2-hour long wedding of your great aunt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like no cute little edits, it's like, no, we're going to actually like have more capacity to sit with memory too. I'm excited for that, and I feel like 9 years we can check up on if hopefully as a collective we're a little bit more able to hold memory. Because it's also like with social media, our actual attention is getting shorter, and our ability to sit with ourselves, sit with each other is getting shorter. And I'm hoping, this is what I'm putting into the atmosphere. It's like I'm hoping that, or not I'm hoping, I know that these next 9 years will be us practicing having more and more capacity to sit with each other and sit with our environment and like remember it.
And this is the part, friend, and you're naming it. Memory work, documenting is reparative action. And it's reparative action because, again, as people who were not able to we have a long history. People don't realize we were not documented for reasons.
Yes.
Whether it was property or whether it was because these people didn't actually want to owe you anything after slavery ended. They didn't want to have to give you anything,
these are the same
right?
people we trying to talk. Anyway,
You
go
know?
ahead. Yeah.
And so it's like, even now, thinking back to Philadelphia, when you think about media and how media has been like constructed, Philadelphia was the birthplace of being able to demonize and strategize how black people could look crazy on TV. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize like catching people on the news smoking a crack pipe happened here.
I didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we were very much the trendsetters for agenda setting on the news and in media, right? Not saying that it didn't happen, right?
No, but I feel you.
Blaxploitation films and all of that, that was a thing, you know what I'm saying? There was always that, right? But when you talk about how it appears on the news today and how you see it on the news today, it's that,
real.
right? And so that's why, for me, Germantown Info Hub is reparative work.
Yes.
Because people in the neighborhood get to actually see their stories. They don't have to actually they don't have to go to eyewitness news, and the only thing they see about Germantown is how this little boy got shot, right? They get to see how Desiree Thompson is actually doing Philly Herb Hub, right? They get to see how Courtney Childs has Our House Culture Center, right? They get to see how Kristen Clark has GAD Philly is trying to connect the art world, right? They get to see how Douglas Rucker is putting on plays at the True and Shelton CDC to like hinder gun violence, right? They get to see how Reverend Michelle Simmons has a whole Why Not Prosper house for the reentry girlies, right? You don't get that other places. And I mean on a consistent basis. So this work is not just for the times, but it's also deep ancestral and future work, right? Because there were black people in the past, black people in the present, black people in the future. And that's what my work is. And that's why it's reparative.
I actually can't anywhere.
True that. I mean, iron sharpens iron, and you were saying it, so I was like, let me actually step in here and make sure I name this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for saying that so, like, directly. So, I just want to shout out really quickly. You talking about your grandmother made me think about my aunt Donna. And you just talking about how it's like, as a people, we have so many stories of loss of records. Loss of records, and also, like, records weren't made in the first place. And my Auntie Donna, I had just made contact with that side of the family just, 3 years ago. You know, families, like, they have their splits, like, one side don't talk to the other side for over 20 odd years, whatever. So I had made contact with this auntie. And she was the auntie that was like, fully embraced me immediately. Was like, yeah, I'm going to take you to meet all your little cousins, all you people over in, like, because this side is connected to Panama, and they're like Afro.
Oh, they're going up.
Let's be clear. Afro-Panamanian. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to take you back there. I'm going to help you, like, learn Panamanian Spanish. And a year later, she passed. She passed right after we connected. And I just remember feeling like, wow, who else in my family? I don't know anybody in my family who knew that this mattered, who knew that, like, a niece that she'd never met in person, like, it matters to connect her to this side of the family.
Exactly.
Like, and she was the one who was also gun-ho about, like, meeting my like long lost uncle. And she was like, and we ended up finding him too. And it's because she was like, no. Before I felt like she knew she was gonna pass too. She was like, before, like, we got to find him now. And we found him. And sadly, he passed also, like, in a few.
Crazy.
So what you say about, like, literally the time is now, like, we don't know. We don't know if he's gonna be here tomorrow. Like, I thank God that I made connection with her before she passed, and hopefully like I have enough to continue, because honestly, friend, I was like, once she passed, I was like, okay, it's done. Like,
Yeah.
nobody else in my family's on that shit, so I guess I'm just done.
Well, what you'll find, friend, too, is that like the more you do it, and let me be clear. I said when I was talking about genealogy, also I want to be clear about the test, like
Yeah.
the test, and I also want to be clear
Right.
that I am scared to trace my roots because my grandmother is white. So clock it, friends. I'm white, and I don't want to find them ancestors. Okay, so that's what it is. But genealogy is important. But what you'll find is across. When you're doing this work, you'll find somebody else and another cousin who's doing this work as well. I have a friend named Ebony Zamani. Ebony Zamani is also doing genealogy and has been teaching genealogy workshops. And that has been a very, very interesting thing. And she's been like finding out so much. Like finding out that a person that she knew is actually her family member. Oh my God. Right? Like that shit is crazy. But you will find, this is me just saying, you will find somebody else. So you have to continue it. Like that is important because the time is now, right?
Yeah.
And another person in your family is looking for you right now too.
Thank you.
You just don't know it.
Thank you for saying that, because I was really ready to.
Throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Because it's like once you do so much work and then one major thing, that's major, not just for one, but two people who you just got connected with to no longer be here and be your ancestor. Well, first of all, it's still a blessing that you got to meet them.
You real, because now they're ancestor too.
Right?
You know, and I got to make contact. Yeah.
And that's an ancestor you know.
Right.
So they watching over you.
Right.
They connecting you with the other people looking for you. Right? So
now you about to make me shed a tear.
I know, friend, and I was gonna say,
This
please listen. We shed tears here. This is real. Real bitches do real things. Okay, real bitches cry.
Every day, literally every day.
And that's just all I mean. Like so I just want to learn that.
Thank you.
Like you on the right path, and like do your big one.
Thank you, because you were speaking directly to me on this like archive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Archive, like it matters, and it's deep work.
Mm-hmm. It's tiresome work too. That's what people don't understand too. Like, don't think that you're gonna start this thing and it's gonna be finished by the end of the year. This thing is gonna be finished for 15 years,
That's
friend.
right.
Like it's patience.
That's right.
And that's why patience is supposed to be a value. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So yeah, sit with it.
This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation.
I guess closing out.
Damn, closing out. Oh my God, I was so into the interview.
I
I'm
know.
so glad it's coming to an end, child.
But I just wanted to give you some more flowers, because I was looking through your page on Instagram. The Germantown Gem, the G-Town Gem, G-Town Gem.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at that page, and then also on the Germantown Info Hub website. And I was just looking at the comments and people saying, thank you for affirming us and me. Like, there was just so many comments like that. Like, thank you for the work that you're doing. Like, thank you. I never knew about this. Like, thank you. I didn't think I would see this, like, actually, this story be picked up. Like, thank you. Like, and I was like, I was just really touched by that, because in real time, you're seeing the impact of the type of storytelling you're doing, where it's about place and it's about making sure people know that where the fuck you're at, where the fuck you're valuing, you know what I mean? And like what this place really is, especially to the people who actually live there. And so I wanted to like just say that I see you. I see that you are out here like truly loving. You're like you're walking in actual love, and that I'm just like grateful.
And I'm grateful to them people. Please, like, you giving me my flowers, I'm giving you yours, but I gotta give them people their flowers. And I mean, I'm almost being moved to tears, because like I love these people. Like they love me, but I love these people. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're
and we here to give each other flowers while we here, right?
Yes.
So it's like that's what I mean when I tell people like all the useless shit that y'all be going through on a daily basis, that shit don't matter. Like, there are people who want to love you, but you have to be willing to receive love. You know what I'm saying? That's been a big lesson for me. Again, like when you talk about 25, I know, again, I'm going all the way back to the beginning, but that's what really, when you ask me what it was about my chosen family, these are people who people have to understand. Like, when I say I disconnected from my family, it was like a tumultuous blowout.
Got you.
And I like not necessarily forgot how to love, but I just didn't remember. Yeah, I just didn't remember. So when you have somebody who teaches you how to love, you know, reteaches you how to love, right? Because you can forget it. You can forget the feeling just that quick. I mean, my grandmother passed away in June of 2015. And I would have to say by December of 2015, I forgot how to love. You know what I'm saying? And I was living a life where I was just mad at everybody, mad at everything. And then just like being with folks like my chosen family, like reinstilling that in you. There are people who want to give you love, and you have to be willing to receive it in order to get it, in order to feel it. Yeah. So just remember all the stupid nonsense and like not being able to receive love is not. It's cute. Again, shout out to being on baddies. But that shit ain't gonna get you far. You know what I'm saying? Being a baddie is not gonna get you far. Being a lover is gonna get you further. You know? So that's my word for the day. And I just gotta 100% give you your flowers again. I gotta give Philly Cam their flowers, all the folks who are helping to bring this to life. Y'all don't see her, but shout out to Tasha. Okay, we gonna break the fourth wall on here.
Caramel Tasha.
Okay. And I just appreciate you. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everybody I come in contact with, specifically, you know, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
You know I love black people, and I know you love black people.
Yes.
I always love people. I'm always going to give love and flowers to people who love on each other. So I thank you for loving on me, and I hope you know I'm always going to love on you.
Oh my goodness. To all the lovers out there. Let's fucking go.
Period.
Well, thank you, Fuki. And that's our show. How much time? What time is it? Do you know? 5:55? That's our time.
Thanks, friends.
Thank you, Rasheed. Thank you, Tasha. Mwah.
Shout out to the girls.
Shout out to the girls.
This is a station for reparation. This is a station for reparation. This is